Whoa. You look like Jaisa did that time she tried Exobor soup.
I had a vision. There was a galaxy neighboring our own, and then nothing. Every star went dim, both in that galaxy and our own. The end of everything.
See, probably just something you ate. Maybe. I hope.
Another galaxy? Would you say it was a dwarf galaxy? Forgive me, my lord. I couldn't help but overhear.
A dwarf galaxy sounds right. What do you know?
There is such a galaxy off the Outer Rim, known as the Rishi Maze.
Rishi? I've heard of Rishi. It's a planet. Some kind of pirate resort? Sounds like a real dive. I've kinda always wanted to go.
You started receiving these recently. Quinn, set a course. We're going to Rishi.
Reach out with your emotions. Let them guide you. Yes, that's it. Ashara, tell me. What did you see?
It was you. You were in a jungle. Roots and vines, they took you, bound you, and then you were torn apart.
You saw the future. One of many possible futures, but a probable one at the very least.
Then I heard a voice. A woman, she reached out to me through the Force. She told me you had to go to Rishi. I don't want you to go.
Rishi? You said Rishi? Rishi's been coming up on the Nava computer. I thought it was some kind of glitch. Nothing out there but my kind of people.
That is no glitch. It is a message.
Let me guess. You're thinking of walking straight into a trap.
Perhaps it is a trap. What of it? Tell the crew there's been a change of schedule. I should very much like to visit this Rishi.
Hey, Agent. Doing a little research, huh?
It's nothing that can't wait.
Well, good. Because I did that sweep like you asked. Found something.
What are we looking at?
A homing beacon sends a broadcast, not a direct signal, so we can't discover directly who's tracking us. Transceivers along our route pick up the beacon's signal. If I triangulate the origin of someone collecting the beacon's data from those transceivers,
as ever, we are enthralled with your mind. But we don't believe we have ever heard of this planet.
Rishi? I know it. Pirates and all that. Never been, though.
Then it's your lucky day, Kalia. We're going to Rishi.
I know you did it, Blizz. I always catch you messing with stuff.
Okay, you two. Someone care to explain?
Someone plotted a course on the Mantis' Navcom without running it by anyone. We were about to make the jump when I caught it. Rishi.
I don't think it was, Blizz. In fact, I'm pretty sure it wasn't anyone on the ship.
Telling me we were sliced? How are you not on top of that?
Never saw a data routine like it before. It looks like Republic spy stuff, but modified. And that's just part of it. You've been up on the blacklist lately? Every listing claims Rishi was the Mark's last known location, including...
A bounty on him, right.
Guess someone wants me to go to Rishi. Well... what kind of gal would I be if I disappointed them?
Wow! The rumors were true! You're here! You're really here!
You know me?
Oh, sure. I've heard you described in great detail. Great detail. You run the Howling Tempest Gang, the most daring, ruthless pirates of the Gordian Reach. Wherever that is.
That's right. What's it to you?
Just like a pirate. You're all so touchy. I love it. You'll fit right in here. Seems like everyone in Raiders Cove is going on about you and all your insane adventures. Talk about your tough customers.
You're basic. It's very natural.
My people pick up languages and stuff real easy. Some of us like to be formal. I'm more of a cantina talk type. Speaking of cantinas, you'll want to watch for Goro. He wants to fight you so bad, it's not even funny.
Wants to fight me? What did I do?
You'll have to ask him. Considering what a big deal you are, it's probably just for bragging rights. Goro's at the Blaster's Path, local watering hole, probably washing down some Tonatron jerky with some Antellian fungo lager. I'm not allowed there anymore. Long story. So I hope someone hollows your big fight. Wouldn't want to miss a single bloody shot.
I hear you're looking for me. Or someone who fits my description, at least.
Kafsta undile, Jigo hola lokuta.
Think you just did that yourself, Goro. Hang on. You're not about to wreck my place again, are you? I'm still filling in blaster holes.
Inigu daiji liska chalanga wa. Kusa malachikuta, ikosa mose ala tuta.
No, this won't be a challenge at all. Not for me.
Chonki faguta, jiobora, jeoto kakise. Makipuna mali tuta od mishka.
Maybe you're a big deal on Rhodia, friend. But next to me...
You know, a few blaster marks is one thing. Gives the place some charm. But this...
If you heard Goro before he died, you know I run the Howling Tempest gang. And you know better than to cross me. Someone is about to tell me how everyone on Rishi seems to know I was on my way here. Who will it be?
Everyone's talking about you. Couldn't tell you how it all got started, but I can tell you who gave Goro the idea to come after you.
Don't do it, Karina. You know what Margok would say about ratting out a resident.
If Margok ever pays the tab all you Nova Blades have run up, then maybe I'll start to care what he thinks. Guy you want is Kai Zykan, leader of the Corellian-run scoundrels. A real gem. Goro said Zykan owes you a pile of credits. He hired Goro to take you out for a fraction of what it would cost to pay you.
Where do I find him?
Beats me. It's not like I hang out with the guy. Ask Zykan's crew. They're all over Raiders Cove. Like stinkflies.
Others might not appreciate your cooperation, but I do.
Figure it's either help out, or have a bigger mess to clean up. I can handle the Nova Blades being sore with me. See ya, Goro. Hope your brother doesn't decide this was my fault.
Well, look at this, scoundrels! A visit from...
I was making a dramatic pause, Tomoda. I know it's the Hurling Tempest. Kai Zykan. I'm sure you've heard my name, most commonly accompanied by a longing sigh from one of my former conquests. Now here's the deal. The Corellian-run scoundrels may owe you a debt, but it's not coming out of my hide. Take it up with accounting.
You will give me every last credit your people owe the Howling Tempest gang. Every last one. Understood?
Well, I do speak basics, so yeah, understood. And, you know, this, it doesn't have to get dialed up right away to violent. Okay, alright, listen, we can't pay. The freedom to operate in Raiders Cove isn't exactly free. After the Nova Blades take their cut, we're tapped. Not before you get an itch. I do have something of value. Something I know you want.
You tried to have me killed. I don't see why I shouldn't return the sentiment.
I get it. You're not happy with me. But you might be after this. I record all my holocalls, and that includes the one that warned me you were coming to Rishi. I'll show it to you. Tomoda, get my data pad.
Lugusinobi chunky. Fakotachi Otto Endia.
Oh, that's bad, Tomoda. That's bad.
Kokuto chuska no iku chusa. Yumata chipontata.
Oh, right! Yes, thank you, Tomoda! I knew there was a reason I kept you around. Here, you can find and unlock the case with this tracer, and you could even keep the datapad. How's that?
I'll take your datapad, but that doesn't mean I'm done with you.
Okilimukunti ne ata bomba bo shunda. Fuibani yaka twipi tabo katonka. Wana waka.
Gotta hand it to you. The Whirling Tempest crew don't mess around.
The Chapawa.
Right. That's what I said.
Kaizaiken, greetings. I speak to you now to deliver a warning. The Howling Tempest Gang is one of the galaxy's most feared pirate associations. They have just now set their sights on Rishi. As you know, the Corellian-run scoundrels owe the Howling Tempest Gang a great many credits. There is no telling what will happen when you are discovered. I suggest you herald the gang's arrival to draw unwanted attention on them. I'm dispatching several droids across Raiders Cove to do the same. Or you could do nothing and suffer the consequences. The choice is yours.
Greetings to you! Would you like to hear a true story about the legendary Howling Tempest Gang? Oh, I beg your pardon. I didn't realize it was you! How exciting. Such a pleasure to make your acquaintance.
You should consider yourself honored and fortunate to have this opportunity.
Indeed I do! My master did not prepare me for the sheer measure of awe I would be required to process. Why, in the time since your arrival, you have already defeated the illustrious Goro, brought fear to the Corellian-run scoundrels and Carida Corsairs. Even the Nova Blades have taken notice of you. My master would be most impressed.
I want to know who has you broadcasting these stories about me. Give me a name.
You may direct any and all questions to my master, as I have been authorized to arrange an introduction. Oh, do be careful in your travels. Legend or no, Goro's brother Grum is severely displeased as to Goro's fate.
Stella, Biorore. Tuk now, Grim Slim Monita, Rikoka Shurore.
I'd let the meaning of that fact sink in a second before you act.
Furamero, Tartal ne Soweva Rumsek. Eiling, Onre Donatsa, Tingno Bumfry, Ramiruk Shak. Tuk now. Grim Slim Monita, Rikoka Shuro Reg. Slim, Javitsa! Gola, Timan Stebodra. Consona no Mordakin Pavobi Freya. Wine Nikro, Klorubarg.
There. It's finished. Lana Beniko.
Commander, pleased to see you again. I hope you'll forgive the cloak and dagger routine. You must grow tired of it.
It's actually been a refreshing change of pace to impersonate a legendary outlaw.
Good to hear. You'll be doing more of it.
Hello, Theron.
Is that a good hello or a bad one? Outside of Lana, I can never tell with you Imperial types.
Are you really asking me that after the last time I saw you?
Okay, point taken.
Now that we're all reunited, perhaps we should get things underway.
Right, yeah. Let's get to it. The Revenites are here, on Rishi. That's why we led you here under false pretenses. They can't know we're onto them. We need you to go out there and make life hard for the Revenites' allies, the Nova Blades.
If the Revenites are operating out of Rishi, then it stands to reason their leader is here.
That's our suspicion too, but we can't say for sure just yet. From what we've been able to gather, the Revenites' agents in the Empire and Republic have been feeding the Nova Blades intel on ship activity. The Blades then use that intel to ambush military patrols and key shipping lanes on both sides. They're essentially remapping hyperroutes. Hate to admit it, but I haven't been able to remotely slice the Blades' computers. I have to have their security shut down.
The trouble is, we can't have any suspicion raised that our attack is related to the Revenites' activities.
Hence the cover. I should appear to be after the Nova Blades, and the Nova Blades alone.
Yeah, you've got it exactly. Bust up their operations, get their attention, make yourself look legitimate, and then go for the throat.
We have a trusted source who's determined that the Nova Blades base, a wrecked ship called the Aggressor, contains their entire security apparatus. That's our final target.
It would be nice to know a little more about what I'm getting myself into.
The Nova Blades built Raiders Cove, so they get a piece of every kind of action going on here. They're well-funded, well-staffed, and protective as all get out of the empire they've built here. Empire with a small e, of course.
Yes, of course.
We'll place you in range of the first Nova Blade target. That's where our source is waiting.
It really is good to see you again.
Been hiding out a long time. It's nice to see someone who isn't a complete stranger. Good luck out there.
Yes. May the Force serve you well.
It's you! It's really you! I can hardly believe my optical circuits.
Jakaro, I don't think I can take any more flapping out of that synthesized yap.
All bluster aside, this planet's inhabitants are not to be trifled with. The Nova Blades in particular are a powerful and organized group. That is why we intend to depower and disorganize them by firing from Jakaro's ship on the targets of your choosing.
If you miss, you make me look bad. Don't miss.
With your guidance, we couldn't possibly miss. I'd wish you good luck if I thought you'd need it. We'll keep in touch.
It's like a war zone, Commodore. We're gonna lose everything if we don't airlift what's left to the slave camp.
And we're not backing down just because some upstart crew thinks they got what it takes to break us. Buckle down, be a Nova Blade, and kill whoever's messing with us.
But Commodore Margok...
You heard him. Kill whoever's messing with you. Or try, at least.
I took down a dozen contenders to get this post. I ain't even a little bit scared of you.
I was hoping you'd pick that one.
The job's done.
Excellent news, but it's only our first step.
Someone called Margok is in charge of the Nova Blades. He'll get us closer to the Revenites.
Yes, he will, but he is safely inside his headquarters. We must set his operations into a state of disarray, send his forces scattering.
I intercepted some chatter about a slave camp. Well, more like a slave island.
I heard one of their lieutenants mention it.
Basically, anyone in Raiders Cove who doesn't give the Nova Blades a slice of their action or whatever gets locked away. Some get put into hazardous labor, like mining, but most are sold as slaves to visitors from off-world. It's a lucrative business for the Blades.
So, just like their supply cache, if I destroy the assets, they're left with nothing.
Whoa, if you're suggesting what I think you are...
As you said yourself, these slaves are assets. They're also enemies of the Nova Blades, which makes them all the more valuable to us alive.
You'll have to slip in with one of the Nova Blades' cargo shipments. I'm sure the island's heavily guarded, so try not to get killed.
I believe Theron means to say he's concerned for your safety, as am I. May the Force serve you well.
Jakaro, I have a pickup for you.
C2D4 here. We have your coordinates and are on our way.
Been mining Exonium for the blades every day for 2 years. All to pay off a lousy $3 grand I owed. And I ain't the only one.
Tell your sob story to someone who cares.
Ain't going after sympathy. Just letting you know none of us got any love from Margok and his crew. Even in this place, we hear stuff. About your gang, the way you've been making life ugly for the Blades. We want to be a part of that.
You want to work for me?
Hey, we're good at a whole lot of stuff. Tell you what, get in touch with a pal of mine in Raiders Cove. Harlow Ricks. Check in with Ricks from time to time, tell him what you want us to do, and we'll do it. Simple as that. You get nice and close to Margok. You give him one for me, alright?
I'd say the Nova Blades are properly distracted, wouldn't you?
That would be an understatement. Theron's been monitoring communications. You've caused quite a stir.
Want some gratification? Here, check this out. Just recorded.
They're blasting up my supplies, my foot soldiers, taking my workers. What are you people prepared to do about it?
This appears to be your problem, not ours.
How would you like it if I made it your personal problem? Give me Revan. I want to talk to Revan.
No, I don't think so.
You don't put Revan on. The Nova Blades stop rerouting galactic traffic. That ain't negotiable.
Revan.
Commodore Margok, are you threatening to alter the terms of our deal? I paid you to do a job and you've done it well. But that's over now. I no longer have any use for your Nova Blades.
Hey, I know Torch and her Mandalorian client up and left us. But the Blades still got a lot to offer.
Not if you don't have your own house in order. Put an end to the upstart causing you trouble, and I'll consider resuming our alliance.
You really did it. You got them running scared.
Naturally. You were expecting some other outcome?
Guess it was silly of me to question, huh?
The Nova Blades still have an impressive roster of hardened criminals at their disposal, and the aggressor is still heavily fortified.
The aggressor's their headquarters. You've seen it. A crashed ship Margok turned into a fortress. Can't get in without the proper security codes.
That won't be a problem for me.
We'll get Jakaro to lend a hand all the same.
If nothing else, the activity will keep him from picking apart D4 any further.
Theron.
Finally in. Nice work. Now to see where Margok's hiding all his secrets.
You dirty, no-good pirate scum.
Funny, that's what I was about to say.
Yeah, go ahead and laugh it up. Won't be laughing long. My forebears founded Raiders Cove. This is my island, and I'm not giving it up. So come on in, do your worst. In the end, you ain't coming out alive.
They've got live slicers and they're managing network security on the fly. They can't do anything until they're offline.
I'll handle it.
I'm sure you will.
This is my ship. Think you can just walk on in and be left alive?
Theron, are you getting this?
Loud and clear. I'm in. Full access.
This is the sort of momentum we could never create on our own. We need to maintain that momentum. Surely if the Revanites are done with the Nova Blades, as Revan indicated, they're on to the next stage of their plan.
Say all you like about Revan. He was never as powerful a Sith as I am now.
It's not just Revan here. It's all his co-conspirators. We don't know how many in the Republic and Empire are pulling strings for him.
While Theron's pulling down data, I suggest you start to make your way back to Raiders Cove. Hopefully he'll have found something of use by then.
What have we learned from the aggressor?
Very little, I'm afraid. It would appear someone took it upon themselves to corrupt much of the data as a last resort.
It's a real mess, getting fragments but nothing incredibly coherent. The one thing that does keep turning up is the Mandalorian Margok brought up earlier, the one they call Torch.
What about her?
Well, it looks like Torch and Margok were thick as thieves for a while, then something happened. Had to do with the Revanites. Don't really know the details, but it looks like Torch moved her whole clan to another island here on Rishi. I've got the coordinates.
What's the matter, Theron? Is my being around so distracting you need to hurry me off to some other island?
You're not entirely wrong.
I'm sending Jakaro out on a scouting run. I've made local arrangements for your transportation should he not return in time.
Well, you've been busier than I thought.
Get whatever information you can from the Mandalorians. With any luck, they'll lead us to the Revanites.
Warning. Adequate encryption has not been verified. Transmission interception is possible. Please confirm identity. I'm authorized only to speak with the Red Blade.
This is the Red Blade. You want to tell me what's going on?
Master Blade, I am to inform you that your loyal associate Jeeg awaits you at the attached coordinates. Please proceed with all appropriate haste. Also, welcome back to Rishi after your long sojourn on Hata.
Dark Lord. Moff Pyron ready to report.
What do you have for me, Pyron?
Your apprentice Ashara briefed me on the order of Revan. We are discreetly sweeping for infiltrators in your ranks.
Good.
If I may, I've also prepared a briefing on current military operations. I'll endeavor to be quick. As for the Cylinder campaign, Darth Marr is coordinating the Joint Armada with minimal losses. That does raise the issue, however. Our silencer fleet killers are underperforming as the Republic adapts tactically and technologically. We may be able to refine the silencer cannons further, but their radiation output will begin to kill our own gunners. Shall we proceed?
Make the refinements, but post a skeleton crew to any ships so equipped. We have only so many troops to spare.
Yes, Dark Lord. There is also the question of Alzar. Darth Ravage still believes the natives hold no value and expands rapidly into their territory. Your overseers on Korriban believe the Alzarians might be trained as Sith, but to recruit them now could make an enemy of Ravage.
Let Ravage whine at the next council meeting. The Empire needs allies, not resentful colonies.
As you wish. One last order of business. I understand you're on Rishi. Normally, I wouldn't bother you with trivialities, but...
Speak, Pyron.
You have a servant there by the name of Lord Vigil. Like many, he's been seeking an audience since your ascension. He won't say why, or speak to anyone but you. However, Thanaton clearly prized him. He received significant resources for his research.
Do we know anything about what he's doing on Rishi?
Vigil was designated a seeker into matters exotic and arcane. Quite a few of your researchers have this designation. Whether Vigil's work is productive or, like certain other legacy projects, mere eccentricity, is not for me to judge.
Where do I find him?
I'll send coordinates. Perhaps your archaeologist might assess Vigil's work with some insight as well.
Then you are dismissed.
My life for yours. Dark Lord.
My dear friend the Wrath, always a pleasure to see you intact.
Darth Vowren, this is unexpected.
Well, what's life without a few surprises? There are matters I'd like to discuss in person, and I happen to be near the Rishi system. Perhaps we can meet, enjoy a respite from the bloodshed and destruction.
There are schemes at hand that require my attention. If you're involved, I would know. If you are not, then your moment is poorly chosen.
I understand your position, but I can only say this. We have much to gain from one another. Wisdom to trade that runs deeper than war. And it may be some time before the opportunity comes again. I will await you at these coordinates as long as I can, but I dare not linger. Good day.
Hello? Hello? Are you the Grand Champion?
Who is this?
I'm Thera Markin, Krista's daughter. She was your handler, right? On the Great Hunt? I heard you were on Rishi. I want to meet with you. Krista's dead.
Krista never mentioned you. And a lot of people have this frequency. A lot of people don't like me.
This isn't a trap. I know you'd shoot me. That's what you do. Look, without Krista, you'd still be on Dromund Kaas. Without Krista, you wouldn't have a ship. You may work for Sith now, but you didn't always. Besides, I'm not asking a favor. I'm offering a job.
In that case, we have something to discuss. Been a while since I worked outside the Empire.
I've got a room at the cantina. I'll be drinking. Bring your slicer if you want to check my story. Just come soon as you can.
You're now 2 meters inside an Umbaran jamming field. If I've pressed the right buttons, we should have adequate privacy.
I received your message for the Red Blade.
Yes, perhaps a bit obvious, but I thought your pirate cover appropriate given the circumstances. So how are the Sith treating you, Agent? Still a cipher without an organization?
All the responsibility and none of the resources. But I'm making do, and the Sith know they need me.
Let's be grateful for small favors.
How are you even alive?
As it turns out, there was concern that I had arranged for certain documents to be released in the event of my death. Instead of execution, I was granted early retirement.
Sounds very straightforward.
Very. I assure you, however, I am no longer involved. I've come only to ask you a personal favor.
Given what you did when I took your orders, what makes you think I'd volunteer for anything you propose?
To start with, we have a shared interest. Shara Jen, the former Keeper and Watcher too.
Go on.
After the Star Cabal's dissolution, Shara was unwell. The damage to her brain from the Cabal's trap had been considerable.
I remember her medical droid. She had trouble speaking.
Add to that her conditioning. She was programmed for loyalty, and we had her working a rogue operation. That aggravated her existing cognitive and psychogenic trauma. She's fortunate she didn't become a vegetable. During Lord Malgus's uprising and the chaos that followed, she was unable to protect herself.
What happened?
She was captured by the Republic. I intend to free her.
I'm guessing we're not on Rishi to attack Belsavis prison. How do we get to her?
I've made arrangements already. She was carbonite frozen and placed aboard a prison transport, which was then raided by pirates.
And now the raiders have brought their cargo to Rishi?
Precisely. The final step is to retrieve the body and erase all evidence. No one can know what happened. I intend to negotiate Shara's purchase from the raiders. While I do, I need you to provide leverage and cover our trail.
It won't be a problem. What kind of leverage am I providing?
To begin with, I suggest you slice the raiders' databanks and transmit their files to me. That should facilitate negotiations.
I'm sure they've made indiscretions we can use. And after that?
You'll have the frequency to listen in. You know how this works. You'll find what I need. We can rendezvous here once I've acquired the carbonite.
All right. Let's bring Shara home.
How are you feeling?
I've been thawed from carbonite, pierced by 25 needles, and injected with something I can only describe as liquid humiliation.
I'm pleased you're doing well.
I'm right. Did you tell me? I can see stars. Am I on a spaceship?
Yes, you are. You're safe and you're going to be better soon.
Don't condescend to me.
My apologies. If you'll excuse me. Hold transmission, silence audio.
You said we'd all meet back here.
Yes, I lied. She's on her way to a private medical facility. I couldn't be sure you'd approve.
After everything we've been through, you'd still rather manipulate me than trust my judgment.
It's nothing personal. My wife has the same complaint.
Where is she going?
Shara will be cared for in secret by a group of richly compensated medics and scientists. In a very slow and regrettably painful process, the damage to her brain will be repaired and her loyalty programming undone.
You can do that?
There are no guarantees. My people say it should be possible. When she is free, I have advised her not to rejoin the Empire's service and to make a life away from conflict. She's never had that chance before.
She always deserved better than what we could offer. On some level, I think she hated her programming. If I'd known she could be cured.
She couldn't then. And I know. Talk to her if you like. Say your goodbyes.
Shara, do you recognize me?
Are you concerned about hibernation blindness or the brain damage? Of course I recognize you. The minister, former minister, says you helped me. I don't want to do this, Cypher. I don't want them to decondition me.
You don't have to be scared. You're not a prisoner. Say the word and I'll talk to the minister.
I do have to be scared. The Empire altered my limbic system. I'm sorry I haven't been there for you, Cypher. Everything else just got in the way, and I'm alright, I am. I just don't know who I'll be without.
You're the smartest person I've ever met. And you're very good at solving mysteries. I have every confidence you'll figure it out.
Maybe, but I hate mysteries. I'm glad you're here. Stay and talk for a little while.
I believe our business is done. I have a retirement to get back to, and while I don't expect we'll meet again, I believe I've said that before.
Retired or not, you're going to watch over that woman. You'll see to it that she recovers, and you'll make sure no enemies find her after. She's going to live a very peaceful life.
Yes, she will. But don't underestimate her either. There is one other thing, by the way. I may be out of the game, but you're not. I hear rumors intelligence is on the verge of reforming at last. Darth Marr wants you as second-in-command to a Sith Lord.
What Sith Lord?
Those pieces are still being maneuvered. A new agency will need new personnel to replace those lost. I have files with potential recruits. Untraditional, but highly skilled.
What kind of untraditional recruits?
Military deserters, terrorist sympathizers, and Malgus's alien insurgents. All of them believers in a better empire.
If we're going to survive, we need everyone who believes in any empire, working together. I'll make sure these recruits are put to good use.
If I understand the coming threats, you'll need them. But as I said, I'm out of the game, and the files are yours. Watch for enemies within and without. Everything is on you now, and you know the stakes for civilization.
I recall Vajal's name, but we've never met. What do you suppose he's found out here?
Darth Imperius, exalted eminence of our ways. It is my deepest honor to welcome you to Rishi. I'd begun to doubt, but I was a fool.
You sought an audience, and I have come. The Reclamation Service will observe.
On my life, I shall not disappoint. I was sent here 30 years ago, not for Rishi, but to stand on the brink of the Rishi Maze, the dwarf galaxy. Thousands of unexplored worlds just beyond the known hyperlanes. My master tasked me to monitor those dark stars.
You seek knowledge in the unknown reaches of space. Fair enough. What have you found?
I built a deep space communications array to watch, to listen, to try to contact the maze's inhabitants. And I received signals, messages. The language is ancient, contemptuous of translation. There are Sith words, Rakata, Gree. The messages contained instructions for improving, modifying the communications array. Even I don't understand what functions the machines now possess.
Whoever or whatever sent these signals must have contacted our galaxy before. What could the origin be?
An offshoot species is possible, or perhaps an artificial intellect, a lost Rakata drone in deep space.
When's the last time you received a signal?
The signals went silent some years ago, but I believe the array is now waiting for you.
Waiting for me?
The last messages said the array required one twice transmuted and reborn to the Mother.
Transmuted? As I was on Balmora, and by the corruption of the Sith spirits.
And then rejuvenated by the Mother Machine of Belsavis. Fascinating.
Some distant species has been waiting for you, Dark Lord, whether by prophecy or biology. You could activate the array, learn its purpose.
What does your reclamation service experience tell you?
My lord, my experience says that pursuing mysteries such as this often leads even the wisest Sith to insanity. History is clear, but curiosity urges me forward, and you have defied the odds so many times before.
Await my return, Vejal. I will examine your machines.
As you will, Dark Lord.
Lord Vejal.
Was all to your satisfaction, my lord? Were the machines responsive?
The Dark Lord's lifespan increases by a solar cycle. Does that mean something to you?
Then it was real.
What was real?
Real. Arctis believed, Thanaton believed, but I doubted. I feared to offer you false hope. The machines are made to increase life expectancy, cellular rejuvenation. For anyone without your exotic past, the process would surely have failed. But for you, Dark Lord, those machines have granted you months or years, a taste of immortality.
If you knew this was a possibility, you should never have kept it from me.
I knew the machines were powerful, but I refused to believe. Forgive me. Let me make amends. Grant me battalions to pacify this world. Grant me scientists to replicate the machines. Grant me fleets to explore the dwarf galaxy. Now we know the secret to your everlasting glory is here. We need only find it.
My lord, I have concerns about this course of action.
You are here to advise. Advise me.
The long search for immortality so often leads to ruin. You saw this with your first master. Who will count Zash among the great Sith when she squandered her power on a fruitless quest? And now, with our empire in such need of your resources...
I will remember your counsel, but I am not Zash. Lord Vejal, Moff Pyron will supply you troops as soon as possible. Keep me informed of all progress.
Yes, Dark Lord. If it requires a year and 1,000 men for each month of life you gain, it will be done.
Good. For now I have an empire to run, and crises to see to.
All glory to Darth Imperius.
All glory to you.
My good Wrath, you look the same as ever. How many Jedi have you slain today?
We meet again, Vowren.
In all seriousness, how are you? I understand you've been working tirelessly for our empire. Is it satisfying, your craft? Putting down huts and cults here and there?
These deeds must be done. but I grow weary of running the errands of others.
As I feared, I worry for you, Wrath, and for your future. The Republic claims the Emperor is dead, but I hear rumors to the contrary. The game pieces are moving.
Speak plainly.
Consider this. The last Wrath of the Emperor served in that position for centuries, only departing after turning traitor. As I understand, you never chose to become the Wrath. The position was thrust upon you. What is it that you truly desire?
I seek the ultimate test. I seek to measure myself through battle and to become greater.
Through victory, my chains are broken. There is no victory without contest. I have a gift to aid your endeavors. I have come upon indications that you are being watched, and have been for some time. These spies are mechanical, but ingeniously hidden using combinations of ancient and modern technology, welded into form using the Force.
Tell me how to find these droids. I would have words with them.
An associate of mine with connections in the Gree Enclave manufactured this, a device to reveal your foe. Use it to reclaim your privacy if you wish, or to look upon the face of your watchers.
How does it work?
Activation is simple, but I draw your foes somewhere remote. The jungle, perhaps, to avoid interference. There is more I'd offer you, but not until I'm certain we are alone.
The spies will soon be ash and scrap. Then we speak of the consequences.
I will remain on Rishi as long as I can. Good hunting, Wrath.
Roth, this explains much.
Servant 1.
You should not have destroyed the Opticrons. The droids exist so that we may know you. You exist so that you may serve our master.
You have no need to know my every movement. The droids were an insult.
We determine our needs. You are an instrument of our master's will. Perhaps you have spent too much time serving among the fleets and the Dark Council. First Ilum, then Makeb, and on the list goes. What does not threaten the Emperor is not your concern. We fear you forget this.
I've forgotten nothing. You need not be concerned.
Good. We are at a delicate juncture. Trust that if there are matters of import, you will be told. Now, I understand Darth Vowran sought to meet you here. He has committed crimes against the Hand.
What sort of crimes?
He sought to learn our secrets and interrogated a servant. We believe he is fleeing to the unmapped stars of the Rishi Maze. Did he reach you? If he left this world only recently, we might still find him.
If he attempted to contact me, he failed. I felt a presence here and came to investigate.
Then our search must continue. He will not elude the Hand forever. We will not ask that you stay your saber and return to the tranquility of our fortress. Your edge must not be dulled. Have faith that all questions, all concerns, will shortly be resolved. The Emperor is returning, and we will fuel his flame.
I will not be patronized, and I am no one's slave. I am reconsidering our arrangement, servant. If your master desires my aid, he can speak to me himself.
You have made a grievous error!
No, the error was yours.
Thanks for doing this. Krista was crazy, but I kinda liked her. If something's happened.
There a mark on?
Stars, you're like a walking... Does anything you're wearing not kill people?
You said Krista was dead?
My mom. Yeah. She talked about both of you. She hunted for years, wanted me to take up the business, but coaching you was her biggest win. She got a rep for it. You made her respect it again. She liked that.
We weren't friends, but Krista gave me a fair shot. Tell me what happened to her.
I run a small shipping concern. Direct-to-customer regulated goods.
Smuggling.
Right. Krista got killed protecting my business from the Canowin Syndicate. Thugs dealing in weapons and spice. Canowins have been after me for months. They want my roots, my customers. Krista's rep, your rep, made them keep their distance.
What sort of chatter is there about this syndicate?
I know it's pretty small. Just a few dozen men, but with serious credentials. They skinned an exchange boss who wouldn't join.
A few weeks back, they started harassing me again. Krista showed up. I might have mentioned your name, too. The Canowins said they wouldn't fall for it this time. They said Mom was washed up. They said you're Imperial now. You don't do underworld jobs.
They didn't say that. That's not okay.
Everyone says it. That you escaped alive to become, I don't know, Dark Council enforcers. They killed Mom, but I still have money. I'm putting a bounty on the Canowins. I want their bosses in a bloody heap.
I owe Krista Markon, and I pay my debts. Forget the credits.
Okay. Thank you. Finding the Canowins won't be hard. Start at the bottom, work your way to the leaders. Avax, Crone, and Dastid. Avax used to be an assassin for the Shevin conglomerate. Brutal, kind of a sadist. Crone's her brother, former slaver, loves his guns.
And Dastid?
Worked for the cartel until McKeb happened. Hit a colony ship once, spaced 500 people on board. Watch out for him.
I'll hit those three after the rank and file. Where do I look?
I've got a list of their hangouts. I'll stay in touch over comm if you want. I want you to know, I appreciate this. Krista would too. You did it. You're sure you did it? Dastid wears armor.
Trust us, armor melts.
The Canowin Syndicate is finished. Its leaders are dead.
Thank you. Really, thank you. I don't like having people killed. But we had to. Not just for the business, but for my mom. She'd be glad it was you.
Krista went down fighting for the sake of her family. That's not a lot of comfort, but it should mean something.
No, I know. I get it. You said you wouldn't charge, but Krista would never accept charity. I've transferred a little to your accounts. Can I ask you something, though? I know you're not like a citizen, but you must have opinions about working in the Empire.
You want the truth? Those people don't have a clue what they're doing. But they keep my work interesting.
Guess that's not easy when you're running out of things to kill. So, just a thought? You must be big enough to have some authority there. Priority access, clearance codes, that sort of thing.
What are you suggesting?
Now that my business is safe, I want to expand. You could get me access to Dromund Kaas. I could sell contraband to a whole new market. We'd both profit.
I'm not in the business of crime. If you don't understand that, I doubt you understood Krista.
You don't have the right to say that. When's the last time gang trouble even scared you? You used to work for Nemro the Hutt. You used to get your hands dirty.
Come on. We did what we came to do. And if that's the life we left behind, maybe we're better off. Maybe we shouldn't miss it.
Approaching Torches Island. call Torch.
Shay Visla. That little nickname the locals came up with. Hell if I know why.
You recently had a falling out with the Revenites and the Nova Blades. One Mandalorian to another. Think you could help me out?
What? You think I didn't recognize Mandalore's favorite champion? I might be off the grid these days, but I'm not thick. Tell you what, instead of whatever grand gesture of cooperation you thought might happen here, why don't we try something a little different? Been a while since I had a decent challenge. I'm taking this opportunity to show my clan how it's done. Son of a... Okay, so I'm a little rustier than I'd like to admit. But just a little. Felt good to be in a real scrap for once.
I'm impressed.
Flattery, huh? Oh, what the hell, I'll take it. So... You know the Blades went and partnered up with the Revenites. Means you probably know they're up to no good. We helped out the Blades to have a good relationship with Raiders Cove. We didn't sign up for the Revenites in their all-out war, so we bailed.
Tell me where the Revenites are, and what I'm up against.
Afraid I don't have the where to give you, but I can clue you in on the what. A whole fleet of ships they've got parked somewhere around here. I wouldn't mind it a bit if you chased the Revenites out of Rishi. Off the radar is just how we like it here. Retur Shemi Mando. It was an honor to spar with you. Jesus Mandoade! Who's up for a Skarkla hunt?
I understand your frustration, Jakaro, but there's only so much of your bluster I'm prepared to take.
What's going on?
Theron's been captured by the Revenites. Data from the Nova Blades hinted at the location of a Revenite safe house in Raiders Cove. We looked into it and were ambushed.
You should have waited for me to finish with the Mandalorian clan. Absolutely stupid.
I'll concede we acted in haste. In retrospect, maybe the lead was simply too tempting for us to have trusted it. Whatever the case, I stand by my decision to not impede in Theron's abduction. And I know Theron would too. Now he's in a position to do what he does.
Where do you stand on this, D4?
Me? No one ever asked my opinion. Not even the Harry Lug here. You honor me. Jakaro does make an excellent point, but then so does Miss Beniko. Ultimately, I think we should go after Agent Sean, as it will allow us to plow through as many Revenites as possible.
Hopefully you fared better with the Mandalorians.
Revan has a fleet of warships on standby.
Of course. From examining the Nova Blades data, it looks as though they've been routing Imperial and Republic fleets here to Rishi.
So the Empire and Republic are drawn into a full-scale battle, and whoever's left standing, the Revenites pick off.
And we still don't know who we can trust. We need to interfere with the Revenites' plans, if not stop them outright.
Yes, it's true. I was able to pinpoint several communications originating from another island. I'm told there's a Rishi village on the outskirts. I can't imagine they would resent our presence there.
I'm not telling them I'm some pirate.
I don't imagine you'll have to. The Rishi do seem to be very hands-off, from my understanding.
We have to assume Revan's expecting a resistance force now. You should expect to find patrols along the way.
You're new.
Are you in charge here?
We don't really operate that way, but I can act as that sort of figure if you require it of me. How might I help?
What do you call this place?
The village doesn't have a name. It's just where we Rishi live. Rishi or otherwise. Anyone living here chooses when and for how long of their own accord.
I suppose now that we've left Raiders Cove, you're going to start complaining about them instead of the pirates.
You cleared the path well, and made a friend.
I am called a Renkau.
The other inhabitants on this island. Are you in contact with them? Do you know what they're up to?
If an individual Rishi chooses to get involved with others, that's that Rishi's choice. Otherwise, we tend to see no reason to inquire. These other inhabitants, they have also kept to themselves. Strangely, their encampment appears to be segregated. One group looks like her, the other is less intense.
Imperial and Republic traitors working side by side, but still wary of one another.
This may provide an opportunity, either to extract atonement for their deception or to employ a little deception of our own.
It's an opportunity to thin the ranks, is what it is.
Your zeal for making heads roll never ceases to surprise me, D4. But don't worry yourself, it may yet come to that.
I'll take a closer look at these Revanite camps.
And we'll attempt to establish a better grasp of their activities.
I hope we can establish where Agent Shan is being held.
As do I.
We, Rishi, would be grateful for your help around the village. If you choose to provide it, of course. Savor your travels.
There've been reports of skirmishes in the area. I want you to stay alert for anything out of the ordinary.
Such as?
By the stars! Be ready to fire on my mark!
No, not on your mark. On mine.
You got Ivris's people. You've turned him against the cause. Whatever you think you've accomplished, you won't stop Revan, I promise you.
You can barely hold your composure. I know you fear me.
I don't know where Revan is. Not for sure. But there's a stronghold in the valley. It's where they took Theron Shan. I swear, it's the best information I have. And I can't ask up the chain, they'll only grow suspicious of me.
Abandon your command. You won't be given another chance.
Okay. I'm leaving. I'm gone.
Lana, Theron's being held in a valley stronghold. Could be Revenants there as well.
I'll have D4 see what the Rishi know about it. We'll work out a plan of attack once you've returned. I've never met a people quite like the Rishi. Pragmatic, accommodating, reasonable. If it wasn't for the climate, I'd consider staying.
I could see making a home here.
Really? Hardly a hub of galactic secrets, current circumstances aside. As I mentioned earlier, I did acquire some information worth noting. Rishi observations surrounding the Revanite stronghold fit what we know. They're holding powerful warships on standby, and they're well protected.
Did any of the Rishi see Theron?
No, all we know is what you were told, that he's been taken there. We've been unable to reach the Imperial fleet nearing Rishi, but I can confirm from the Novablade's data logs that Darth Marr's flagship is among them.
Get to work on a solution for our connection issues. He needs to know what's coming.
I'm working to remap the interference patterns into a code that protocol droids on approaching ships should be able to decipher, if they're any good.
Press on. Stall their ships if you can, and we'll do what we can from here to reach the fleet and lend support as needed.
I'm no pushover, but you aren't joking. We do hope Agent Shan is recovered.
Yes, preferably alive. Now go show the Revanites, and, fate willing, Revan himself, why you are not to be trifled with. I'm starting to get the hang of slicing. Theron's influence, I suppose. Give me 1 second. There. A holo record of Theron under interrogation. Coordinates are coming your way.
And Revan?
No indication he's there, but no indication he isn't either. I wouldn't let my guard down.
I should have known the Empire would send one of its lapdogs to try and find me. You should never have bothered.
What have you done with Theron?
Theron Shan's fate doesn't matter. Neither does yours. I'm changing the fate of the galaxy itself.
I get you've lost your mind.
I understand how you might see it that way from your narrow point of view. I'm not waging some war with the Empire and Republic. I'm saving countless lives, and you keep getting in the way. The only upside in your being here, really, is that you get to bear witness. My plan's too far along for you to stop it now.
Don't listen to him. It's not over yet.
Are you okay? Thought I'd lost you for good there.
Yeah, sorry. Almost made it out the front door when I saw you'd shown up to rescue me. Should have known you would. Don't know how much Lana or Revan told you, but he's lured the Imperial and Republic command fleets to Rishi.
Revan wants to draw them into a fight. Try to take out the leadership.
It'll barely be a fight. Revanites embedded on both sides are gonna sabotage shields, weapons, you name it. And we can't warn them. Revan had the Nova Blades build him a signal jammer. No communications at all up in Rishi space. It'll be a bloodbath.
Have to hand it to you, Revan. You do know how to strategize.
Too bad you won't be around to see the results for yourself.
This place is coming down. Soon.
You could have joined me, Theron. Understandably, you're as tenacious as I ever was. Goodbye.
Hello? Are you there?
Lana? What just happened?
I appear to have sliced through 4 layers of encryption to remotely deactivate the power core.
Just in the nick of time. Don't know if I could have managed that even.
Theron, good to know you're alive. I heard everything. About the jammer, all of it. We need to regroup for an immediate attack. Whatever happens, be proud of what we've accomplished up to now. See you soon.
All right, take it easy. I'm not exactly 100%, and you're not exactly gentle.
Oh, good! The team's back together again. All thanks to you for saving Theron, of course.
He was practically out the door all on his own.
Theron, you have the intelligence on this signal jammer. You start.
Right. The intelligence I gathered in the company of several interrogation probes while being held against my will. Jammer's on a nearby island. You've probably seen it. Can't be sliced remotely. Lots of Revanite zealots protecting it. The usual hopeless nightmare, basically.
Let them try to stop me.
Time's running short. You know what to do. It's what you always do. Triumph.
Don't know if you can read me, but I've arrived.
We read you.
come in. Can anyone read me?
I'm here. And you are on Rishi.
Darthmar, you have traitors in your fleet. Scores of them, acting under orders from Revan.
Revan is alive?
He wants you to destroy each other up there.
Have the fleet power down all weapons. Do it now.
Your people should have a list of the traitors. Finally, an open line.
Grandmaster Sean, it appears we have been set upon each other by your ancestor.
Yes, we were notified by an agent of ours whose planet side. We're taking measures to detain the traitors among us.
As are we. Given the nature of the threat, I suggest we speak in person.
Very well. A neutral location.
There's a pirate town on Rishi. My team will send the coordinates.
That will do. Then we are agreed. A truce. For the time being.
Well, isn't this interesting? Did I miss any especially lively topics?
In fact, we were just wrapping up.
Satele Shan, Grand Master of the Jedi Order. Your intervention allowed us to defend ourselves against the Revanite fleet. Many thousands owe their lives to your actions.
And the all-encompassing rot of the Order of Revan has been excised from our fleets. Now, we turn to the matter of Revan himself.
My agent here has discovered that Revan's on the fourth moon of Yavin, where he believes the last spark of the Sith Emperor resides.
Revan intends to return the Emperor from the brink of death, so he may finally be destroyed.
You told her about the Emperor? That he isn't dead?
Yes, I did. The Emperor is not the being he once was. He now hungers for the end of life itself. He would consume us all. In resurrecting the Emperor, Revan believes he will succeed where others have failed. But the Emperor will prove far too powerful for Revan or anyone else.
Darthmar and I will be leading a joint strike force on Yavin 4 to put an end to Revan's plan. I hope you'll join us.
As do I. For the Empire and for the galaxy.
That went surprisingly well, I think.
Yeah, it's nice to see the Empire and Republic can work together without stabbing each other in the back.
It was the right move arranging for your capture. We've succeeded, haven't we?
Unbelievable. Where's the trust, huh? Did it go wander off someplace, or was it never there to start with?
With all that's going on around us, we have to be able to trust each other. You owe Theron an apology.
At the risk of seeming egotistical, I will not apologize for being right.
Do it.
Theron, I recognize that I betrayed your trust, and for that I'm sorry.
Isn't there anything else you wanted first?
Yes. Will that be all?
Lana, I think it's time Theron and I got to know each other a little better.
Yes, of course. Jakaro and I will make ready for Yavin 4.
But I thought I heard you say you were starting to like it here.
I love it. She calls me her agent. Like it's sheer coincidence we have the same name. Though it's not like Master Satele raised me, or like we do any mother-son stuff. Just an odd way to refer to your kid, you know?
What do you expect? Jedi aren't exactly the sentimental types. And she's head Jedi.
Yeah, I hear you. Conned a lot of Imperial agents with phony backstories over the years. Here I am telling you the straight-up truth. I'm the enemy. At least, I will be again if we live through it all. Gotta say, though, I've enjoyed this while it's lasted.
It isn't over yet.
And they said if I ever kissed an imp, I'd spontaneously implode.
Maybe by the time we reach Yavin 4.
Not the most subtle hint, but yeah, we need to get going. I'll have Jakaro plot a route to Yavin 4. Who knows? Maybe if we ask nice, Revan will stop.
There can be no mistaking it. The Emperor is on this moon. Revan is here as well. And another presence, if you wish to believe the Grand Master.
The other presence, it's unclear. The dark side permeates everything here. Saturates it. I've been to Oricon. This is another level entirely.
Oricon was affected by the Dread Masters. Even their combined power was insignificant compared to the Emperor.
The Order of Revan is garrisoned inside an old Massassi temple. That is where the dark side is most prevalent.
We carved out an area as close to the temple as we could. The high concentrations of Massassi in these parts made it difficult.
It didn't help that you knew about the Massassi, but didn't bother to give a heads up to our recon teams.
This is no time for infighting or deception. The stakes are far too high.
Agreed. We cannot let emotion cloud our judgment. More easily said than done for some, I suppose. While Darth Mar and I have reached an accord, many of those under our command obviously don't share our sense of commitment.
If you were to assist in shoring up our position, it would serve as an example to the rest.
We can be pragmatic if we choose to. Do what you do so well out there. I'll remain in touch.
Lana here. I have an opportunity for us if you're interested.
Go ahead.
There's a redundant monitoring subsystem in the equipment you're installing. You could activate the subsystem, setting it to track Republic chatter and movements.
Sneaky. I like it.
Okay, I'll walk you through the steps.
We've got a much better picture now of what's between us and the temple. First thing's the Massassi. We knew we'd be facing a lot, but now we know it's a lot.
There can be no reasoning or bargaining with the Massassi. Once we encroach upon their territory, they will attack.
That was the first thing.
The best of the Imperial Guard are trained in special facilities, honed to physical perfection and instilled with unwavering loyalty. We found one such facility between us and the temple. The Emperor must have had it constructed in secret.
And there are life forms inside. Human. Whether it's Revanites or the Emperor's Guard, they won't be looking to help us.
Bringing the willful in line is one of my specialties. Leave them to me.
I will not condone what you're suggesting.
And what do you think your agent does in the Republic's name? That location is of great strategic value. Make clear to its inhabitants, whomever they are, that the facility is ours now.
They're ruining everything. I see it. We see. But they don't see. They don't even have eyes. We're all that's left. We have to flush the others from this place. Only then can we wake the starving Emperor and grant him sustenance.
Identify yourselves.
Lord Roth. It's Lord Roth. I'm Commandant Ivan. We're the true Imperial Guard. We're here to serve the Emperor.
You serve me now.
No, Roth. Only the Emperor's will. The Emperor's needs. We must cleanse the Temple of the Revanites. We have to prepare the Emperor's feast. And you don't have to do anything, Roth. Just let us sacrifice you in his name. Food for the Emperor. The Emperor must feed the Emperor.
They were Imperial guards after all.
Yes. The support team says their commandant's a raving madman. We'll want to question him. Insane or not, he'll be of use to us.
He will be fed. He will be fed.
Silence. He's raving mad, but he still has information we need to breach the temple and prevent the Emperor's return.
I would like to interview him personally. Someone in his state must be handled delicately.
Time is of the essence. A more hands-on approach is required.
Whether or not he's insane, Ivan finds dignity in serving the Emperor. If he's going to talk, he'll need to feel respected.
Given your unique perspective, I will defer to you, Wrath.
Bring the man to my chambers.
What's the word?
The word? How about unsettling?
According to Ivan, there's a device inside the temple they'd hoped to use to bring the Emperor back. It's a weapon designed to eradicate all living things on the moon, save for those safely inside the temple.
Oh, I should like to see that. Just imagine.
D4, button it.
The device appears to be Sith in origin. That's how the Emperor knew about it, why he chose to retreat to Yavin 4.
Ivan's team was going to activate the device. Use the loss of life to restore the Emperor.
Yes, and now Revan plans to use it for the same purpose. If we can't stop him, we're all dead.
Then let's get moving.
Ivan clued us in on a series of complex locks that will get us access to the temple. They're our next objective. Hey, could you guys give us a sec?
Of course, don't be long.
My line of work, you stare death in the face pretty much all the time. I'm sure you do too. I'm not in tune with the Force at all, but I don't have to be to feel it. If we can't stop the Revanites, that's over. Everything.
I don't need the Force to take down Revan and his cult, which is exactly what I'm going to do.
Now that's what I like to hear. Try not to die, okay? It'd be nice to see you again.
It's time. You've finally arrived.
Revan? But you're alive, leading the Revanites.
The brooding monster inside those temple walls. He is not Revan. He is an abomination. His obsession, his arrogance, this angry crusade, it's all blinded him to the truth. The many lives he'll sacrifice to revive the Emperor will be nothing compared to what would follow. It's within your power to stop the abomination, but you won't be able to do it alone. May the Force be with you.
Jedi and I, we both felt it, a ripple in the Force. You had a visitor, a manifestation.
It appeared to be Revan. He claims to be on our side, and that the one we've been chasing isn't him after all.
That all remains to be seen. And for now, it's irrelevant. All that matters is that we stop the Revanites.
He didn't seem to think I could do it on my own.
All told, the Revanites may be the fiercest adversaries we've ever faced, and this temporary alliance with the Republic is unstable at best. We must gather our forces. We must endure.
The fate of not only the Empire, but the galaxy itself depends on it.
Finally, there can be trust between us, and not a moment too soon. As we speak, our forces are working with the Republic to end the Revanite threat and take the temple.
In spite of our obvious differences, and the fact we're at war, you were able to inspire a sort of cooperation I never imagined possible. Credit where it's due. You succeeded where Darth Mar and I failed.
But we aren't finished yet. There is one element even our combined militaries will be unable to stop.
Revan.
Given his failure, he'll try to escape, to regroup. That cannot be allowed to happen.
Consider it taken care of. It's over.
You've been at my heels far too long. I knew the Rishi plan was a long shot, but I had to try. Had to make it legitimate. I needed to lure you in. You were supposed to stay busy on Rishi long enough for me to finish here, but no! You couldn't do that, could you?
You have underestimated me for the last time.
Wrath, you need to back down. You're too close to all this to see just how much is at stake.
I spent 300 years in lockstep with the Emperor's mind. I know what he's become, what he wants. The Emperor must be destroyed completely, or he will return and consume every last living thing. There's no cost too great. If I have to snuff out every life on this world by hand to draw the Emperor out, then so be it!
Whatever the Emperor's done or may wish to do, it's my place to handle it, not yours.
You're so naive, Wrath. You don't even begin to comprehend what I've become. I was a Dark Lord of the Sith. I was the prodigal knight. I was powerful, but I was also weak. Not anymore. Now I'm pure, unburdened. I can finally have revenge on my jailer and save the galaxy doing it. I have the power, and you have nothing!
You are wrong, Revan. She has powerful allies.
Both Sith and Jedi.
Allies from all corners of the galaxy.
Shay, Vizsla?
Heard the fight to end all fights was going down. What sorry kind of Mando would I be if I missed out?
You were saying?
I don't care how many of you there are. I won't be denied my destiny. I am Revan! defeating me, you let the real enemy linger on. You doom the galaxy!
Say what you will about the Emperor. You're the one presenting a threat right now.
She's right, you know.
No, not you.
You've been so blinded by your unchecked rage, your thirst for vengeance, that you could not see the truth. Now that your power has subsided, I may finally confront you. I only hope you will listen.
You're both Revan.
Yes, though neither of us is truly Revan. When I died, I had come to terms. I was ready to become one with the Force. But I soon realized that was only what part of me wanted.
I cast you out! It was the only way to go on, to remain and finish what we started. You were holding me back.
You think you're stronger this way, but you're not. Neither of us is. We're broken. We can't go on like this.
I won't stop. Not until I conjure the Emperor. I have to face him.
You wanted my return. You did not need to destroy whole fleets or turn a living world barren for that. You only had to point the Empire and Republic to a shared adversary and let them do what they do naturally. Make war. The scores of dead have nourished me. I am awakened, and I bring with me death.
Do not fret, Wrath. You are still special to me. That is why I will kill you last.
The Emperor was not as strong as he might have been had Revan succeeded. But he was strong enough.
No! He was supposed to face me.
You're too weak. You won't last.
If we unite, what I am, won't it fade? Become diminished?
Lord Wrath, you have endured betrayal upon betrayal. You find value in restraint, in virtue. Look at how well your way has served you. You make a fine example.
I don't know if I'm ready.
You have to be. We have to.
You are once again complete.
It's more than that. For the first time in a long time, I'm myself. Thank you for all you've done, and for all you've shown me. Dark days lie ahead. The darkest days. If my error can't be undone, everyone will pay the price. Brace for the worst.
So I guess this is goodbye.
I suppose so. It's been an experience, Theron. Be well to yourself.
Yeah, you too, Lana. Try not to get into too much trouble, all right?
We'll speak soon.
She's something, that Lana. One to watch. Or maybe watch out for.
I don't want to talk about her.
Hey, we don't have to. What a ride, huh? If you told me when we met all the ups and downs we go through together, I'd have called you crazy. Maybe I called you crazy anyway, I don't remember anymore. Between all my family fun with Revan and the Grand Master, and then, well, you.
How is it between you and Satil? Any better?
This is the most time we've ever spent together, so it's hard to say. I think she's warming up to me, in her own Jedi way. Well, look, there isn't any easy way to say this, but I mean, we both knew this would have to end eventually. The Republic exonerated me, so I'm back in the fold. And they gave me a new job. A big one.
That's quite a vote of confidence. You deserve it.
Okay, that's unexpected. You do know what this means, right? As soon as we rejoin the fleet and make the jump to lightspeed, that's it. No more truce. You and I, we probably won't exchange another word ever again.
Who needs words?
Next time you got a fight that juicy, you know how to reach me.
Good luck, you two.
Going somewhere.
We're headed back to Rishi.
Jakaro? I thought you hated that place.
Jakaro wishes to whip those sorry Raiders Cove pirates into shape. He sees a real opportunity there.
You'll have your work cut out for you. As invaluable as you've been helping us, I'm not too worried.
Jakaro thanks you for your kind words. What? Oh, you know I hate it there. That's why we're going, isn't it? Just to torture me.
Darth Marr, you wanted a word?
We suffered many casualties upon the Emperor's return, though nothing insurmountable. Nothing compared to what we would have endured had the River Knights been successful. You are to be commended, of course, but it was Lana Beniko's guile and intellect that made your participation at all possible. That is why I have placed Lana in charge of Sith intelligence.
I can't think of a better choice.
Thank you, my lord.
That will be all for now. Now that she's away, what do you really think?
Lana refuses to even take a title. This doesn't concern you?
It says to me she's unambitious. I welcome the novelty. That said, I appreciate your candor. It's important that we speak openly. The Empire grows ever stronger. The mining of Isotope 5 has bolstered our energy independence, and we're free from concern over the threat of Revan and his followers.
That's only part of the story.
Yes, our momentary truce is over. We remain at war with an emboldened Republic, and we still have countless enemies, both seen and unseen. I won't pretend to know how the Emperor's transformation has affected you. Enlighten me.
When the time comes, I will confront the Emperor, and he will answer to me.
Bold, unflinching. Good. You are of singular importance to our future. The Emperor may have abandoned you, but in my eyes, you are ever the Empire's wrath. The Empire is whole once more. It grows and strengthens. Our obstacles are severe, but they are known to us. The galaxy is ours to grasp. Let us reach!
Come in. Come in. Do you read me?
Confirmation.
Legate. Secure on my end. You?
We're clear. Been a while, Legate. You know, I've heard some unusually wild chatter going around lately.
Yes, I'm sure you have, Arden. Why don't I fill you in?